The Dying Light Van Crane bundle is available to buy on all platforms except for Switch at the time of making this video. Yes, it's a paid DLC, but it's only £2.49 in the UK and $2.99 in the US. It includes a new Van Crane outfit with a special boomerang skill and 3 new weapons. The Dawnlight is a pistol that can take out monsters with a single shot, the Heart Piercer crossbow that becomes more powerful and changes appearance at night, and the Sword of Night, which also shares the same properties as the crossbow. At the time of launch, you can purchase the bundle straight from the main menu, but you can just search Dying Light Van Crane on your platform store. So let's start with the Van Crane outfit then. It looks fantastic in the trailer, very sort of Transylvanian, I guess. You've got the 3 stakes along the strap there, but unfortunately there's no vampires in Dying Light, so they're just for show, of course. After you've purchased it, you can find it in your DLC outfits in your stash, and after changing into it, I usually quit to the main menu again to check it out, but sadly it seems to be bugged, and you can't actually see Crane wearing it. This was also true of the Astronaut bundle recently, and that also hasn't been fixed, so it's a shame. You're not going to be able to see him wearing it in the main menu, but you can actually see him wearing it in the game, so it's still going to be cool for multiplayer use. This outfit also comes with a special skill called Boomerang, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a first for Dying Light. The only skills I've seen included with an outfit before are reduced fall damage and silent walking, and this one actually enables you to recall any one-handed melee weapon after throwing it at an enemy. It works a bit like an enhanced grappling hook, but it's more like cast and a rod if you want to catch the enemies that are further away. I'm using a Sword of Night here, which is swung with 2 hands, but is actually classed as a one-handed weapon. And the skill will work with any throwable one-handed melee weapon, but not, I'm afraid, with 2-handed ones. Also, it appears that if you have any elemental mods on your melee weapon, that will still have an effect on impact. So all in all, this is a great new feature, and you won't risk losing any of your weapons now. Next is the Sword of Night, a dark blade with a glowing effect and the words Vivere Universum Vivus Vici engraved along it. Don't worry, I googled it for you, and it means by the power of truth, I, while living, have conquered the universe. You can find it with your DLC blueprints after purchase, and it can be crafted with a surprising variety of base weapons. I used a gold military machete, and the blueprint doesn't add to the weapon's current damage level, but does max out durability and handling, so despite not being hugely powerful, this is much more so than the free one you got from the Halloween event. Of course, the max power will also depend on how many legend points you allocate to one-handed weapons. As mine are maxed out, this is about as powerful as a standard gold blade gets without mods. In game it looks like a short sword, but as I mentioned earlier, it takes 2 hands to swing, so it's not as quick as a machete and you will get grabbed easily if you mistime it. Without any mods, it doesn't do too bad on normal mode, but can take 2 to 3 swings to kill a zombie. A direct neck hit does tend to decapitate most of the time though. Adding 3 king mods bumped up the damage to 4041, and that seemed to make it a bit more formidable and fun, but remember the trailer said that it becomes more powerful at night. So when it's dark, the first thing you notice is a really nice orange glow flowing along the blade, but in the right lighting you can also see some mini bats flying around it, which I think is an awesome detail. Unnecessary maybe, but awesome nonetheless. And it really does become a one-hitter with the biters at least. It's definitely much more fun at night than during the day it seems. It took at least 3 or 4 hits on the volatiles though, and during the volatile rush event, the time it took to swing it from side to side was a bit too slow to hold back the onslaught. I turned off events just to try it without getting mauled from all angles for a moment, and when I did find an alpha all on his own, the Night Sword took 5 hits to finish him off. So is this sword worth having? Well, I think it looks awesome, and I love the attention to detail, but it is far from my most efficient weapon, to be honest. A bit of fun, but I'm not sure that I'll be using it much after this. Next, we have the Dawnlight Pistol, and this looks more like my cup of tea. It's a great looking single shot handgun with a kind of flintlock style and elaborate gold details. The DLC also comes with a blueprint to craft the silver bullets for it, but you are going to need to have a pistol to use as a base to craft the main weapon. Choosing between 2 pistols with different damage levels made no difference though, as the damage seems to be capped at 2331. But that still makes it my second most powerful handgun after my Ranger, which is only slightly higher. Honestly, for a pistol in Dying Light, this is an insanely high amount of damage, but again, its power will be determined by how many legend points you have allocated to firearms. So, in the game, it looks even better when you can see the sunlight reflecting from the barrel, and I love the way that Crane holds it up when he's running. It's not only funny, but seems to make him look faster. So, does it one-shot everything? Well, up close to a demolisher it did, but their armour will still protect them from a distance, I found. Goons have no such protection though, and yes, it does them in one shot, no problem. But this weapon is really a volatile hunter, and of course they only come out at night. The Dawnlight is the only weapon in the bundle that doesn't glow in the dark, but it does have an electrical effect, and upon impact it makes it look a little bit more impressive. It had no problem killing volatiles with one shot, but the reload speed was a real issue during the volatile rush event. In the time it took you to ready the next shot, you could easily be killed, especially if you got backed up against something. If you were quick enough to catch one off guard though, it made easy pickings of even the alphas. Of course, without the event then it's almost unfair on the old blue boys, to be honest, as this weapon is way more powerful than it needs to be really. But I've got no problem admitting that this is my favourite weapon of the bundle. Lastly, we have the Heart Piercer crossbow, and unlike the other two weapons in this bundle, it doesn't need a base weapon, and you can craft it just from scraps, herbs and fluorescent shrooms. It has a damage level of 3042, which is a bit weaker than the Deadeye or the Valentine's crossbow, but still very overpowered really, and more than enough to take out demolishers and goons with a headshot. The other great thing about crossbows is that you can retrieve the bolts from the corpses, so you can make the ammo last much longer than a regular firearm. It's also very accurate at a distance. If an enemy stands still long enough, then you can headshot them from pretty far away. Now this crossbow does look very cool during the day, but as the trader said, it truly shines at night. And in the dark you can see that it has that same orange glow on the limbs. And not only that, if you turn towards the light you can see the little vampire bats flying around it just as with the Sword of Night, so it really does shine at night. But is it worth having? Well, again, during the Volatile Rush event it proved capable of one-shotting alphas, but the reload speed got me killed so many times. With the event turned off though, it was just as good as any other crossbow in the game really, so if you don't already own one then this will be a must for you. And they're especially fun to use with the elemental bolts. So all in all, I still think that this bundle is worth the small price, especially when you see the crazy prices some more modern games charge for weapon skins etc. However, I think that the bundle could have been better with a buggy skin included. Now I'm not always a fan of the buggy skins, but I think on this occasion they've missed a trick. I would have loved to have seen a buggy skin with the same effects as the sword and its own little vampire bats flying around it. That would have been pretty cool. But as it is, I still don't regret buying this bundle, as Techland have yet again delivered a quality DLC for this 6-year-old game. So that's it for the Van Crane bundle review, and if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!